on his way shortly.
All right. All right. Come on, please be seated. Actually, I'm having to reboot the other one. It's taking forever for the updates. So I'm going switching between chambers. Are there any Spanish speakers?
No.
Okay.
No, we're aware of that.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. This is the 5 o'clock calendar. It's June 17th, 2025. I will tell you that the court orders for taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. When I call you, you'll stand behind the podium, give me your name and your date of birth. I will also just tell you that I will not say out loud all your release conditions, but they will be on your paperwork. At a minimum, there'll be no drugs without a valid prescription, and don't drive without a valid driver's license. Also, if I do set a secured appearance bond, you can go through a bonding company. It's my understanding they do collect calls, and their names and numbers are on some of the walls in the jail. If you can't find one, you can ask the assistance of one of the officers to give you that information. All right? Make one quick change here. Okay. Ms. Montoya, just to let you know, I'm going to call a couple of cases, then I'll call your case, okay? So you need a couple more minutes, okay? Okay. All right, let's do Pedro Varela. On deck will be Alex Rosas Valencia. If I see you on deck, you'll have a seat right outside the courtroom. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Good afternoon, Pedro Armando Varela, Jr., March 22nd, 1985.
Okay, let me just double check one thing. Sir? so I'm not going strictly on memory here. That's right. You're hearing a bench warrant on charge of 2 counts of aggravated DUI and apparently failed to appear at sentencing. And your next court date will be June 25th, 2025 at 201 West Jefferson. You can't consume any alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. And your judge ordered that because you failed to appear at the sentencing and pursuant to rules 7.2, she wrote down 7.2B, but 7.2C, with a substantial likelihood that you'll be sentenced to the Department of Corrections, she ordered that you be held without bond. All right, so you'll be, on June 25th, you'll talk to your lawyer. All right, step to your left, please. Alexis Rosas Valencia. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Alexis Rosas Valencia, 06.
Speak a little slower.
Alexis Rosas Valencia, 06/20/2000.
That's a little bit better. Okay, sir. You may not know about this, but you're indicted by a grand jury for the following charges: 1 count of conspiring to commit, conspiracy to commit possession of transportation and/or sale of dangerous drugs, Class 2 felony, dangerous drugs possessed for sale, Class 2 felony, transportation and/or sale of narcotics, Class 2 felony, possession for sale of narcotic drugs, Class 2 felony, and possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, Class 4 felony. I am appointing a lawyer for you, and this is alleged to have occurred on 2 different dates in 2022. And I know you're on probation now, but there shouldn't be a probation hold because it looks like you were put on probation after that date.
Yes.
Okay, so but there's going to be still some requirements in regard to probation. All right. First of all, you're not consuming any alcohol. You can't possess or consume it, and you can't possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. I want you to contact your probation officer if you get out within 72 hours of release. But I don't expect a hold on probation for that reason I just told you. Now, a judge, upon the return of the indictment, set bond for you in a secured appearance bond amount $25,000. Okay, you can talk to your lawyer about seeing if that bond can be reduced when you appear before your assigned judge. All right, step to your left, please. Okay. Ms. Montoya, we're ready. Mr. Doyle. This one's going to be amended, by the way, since I'm not marking it blank on purpose. Okay. All right, so first of all, just give me your name and date of birth.
Daniel Doyle, March 12, 2003.
The state is also appearing. Can you announce for the record, please?
Dawn Sauer for the state.
Okay.
Rebecca Montoya on behalf of Daniel
Okay.
Doyle, who is in custody, present,
Okay.
standing to my left.
And the reason I made a change in the beginning, because I put it in, but it just didn't accept it. But you're now, the court has received your notice of appearance. Ms. Montoya, I just want to let you know, first of all, I did communicate by email to the prosecutor because in the record it shows some no disposition in regards to some charges, I think a DUI and something else. So I asked her just to review it. So she'll just indicate on the record what the results were. I just didn't know about his record. Okay?
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that I did communicate that. It is technically ex parte, but I'm letting you know exactly what the email was. Okay? And actually, I didn't look at her response because I figured we'd hear from her in court anyway. So
Perfect.
You know exactly what the communication was. Okay. All right, sir. You were charged with aggravated assault, Class 3 felony, endangerment of Class 6 felony, racing or exhibition of speed, and reckless driving, Class 2 misdemeanor. Okay, and obviously Ms. Montoya is representing you. And sir, at this point, I'm only going to be hearing from her, not from you. Okay, if you have any questions at all, she's the person to talk to. Okay, so I'm ignoring you for a reason because you have an assigned attorney. Okay, I'm going to wait to hear from both attorneys in regard to this. I do know that this is alleged to have occurred in March, and there was further investigation and further charge. And I read this very carefully, and I'll be honest with you, in many cases, it's a lot easier to make a decision on a case. And this one was actually very, very difficult. And in all candor, I did consult with another judicial officer in regard to get that person's opinion. Okay. because there are a lot of different issues in regard to this case. So I have not made a decision on the release conditions right now, okay, other than one particular thing. So I want to hear from you both, okay? Actually, let me hear from the just a lack of choice, let me hear from the state first, and keep your voice up, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Is there, actually, if you would, the microphone is right behind your laptop, believe it or not. So
yes.
I just want to make sure you can be heard, at least recorded also, and you obviously have one also.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is requesting a $50,000 secured appearance bond. The state believes that the defendant is a danger to the community. In this case, he was racing another vehicle in a 45-mile-per-hour zone at speeds up to 114 miles per hour. The defendant hit the victim's vehicle at a speed of 103 miles per hour. The victim, according to the police report, was a 78-year-old man who suffered a fractured pelvis, among other injuries, a dislocated shoulder, is going to have a significant time health-wise because of this incident.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt one sec. And I forgot to mention that counsel did advise me that she did handle the initial appearance for the co-defendant last week.
Yes, I believe it was on the 5th.
What? Either way, but what was determined on that particular case?
On that particular case, he was on felony release, so he was held non-bond for that reason.
All right. Okay. I was just curious because I also have to make an independent decision on each case. So, all right, go ahead.
Thank you. This isn't an isolated incident. The defendant has a reckless driving conviction from 2023, and then he also has an open case with the city of Gilbert from 2024, where he was speeding 70 in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. For those reasons, the state believes that a $50,000 secured appearance bond would be appropriate, no consuming alcohol or drugs, and the state believes no driving a motor vehicle would be an appropriate order given the extent of the defendant's actions.
Ms. Toya, the reason I want to know about the record, because it did show, I think, from 2023 or 2024, something about, and no disposition report on a DUI, I believe, and that's something was not filed or something?
Your Honor, that one is the 2024 case I just mentioned. It was a marijuana DUI. It was turned down and excessive speed charged instead. So driving 70 in a 45. Okay,
so I'm not considering that as a DUI. That's why I wanted. That's the reason I made the communication to find out about that. And what is the status of the? Well, obviously the co-defendant was charged. Well, he's the motorcyclist, was co-defendant, right?
Correct.
But obviously, I don't need to ask about his conditions because obviously he's been charged. Okay, and Ms. Montoya, just to assist you in anything else. I'm sorry, counsel.
No, that's it. Thank you.
Ms. Montoya, let me just give you some. I'm doing a little bit more than I do in a normal case. When I was first reading this, I was, reading the Form 4. Is that I thought it was strange. You have two people, Mr. Doyle and the other person, his name I can't remember offhand, going down, was it Arizona Avenue?
Arizona Avenue?
Arizona Avenue?
Arizona Avenue.
Yeah, which is a main thoroughfare, okay? And the other car number 3, was making a right turn from another street, which would have been a side street. I was curious. Why would Mr. Doyle be charged with aggravated assault if a car is making a turn? Because they have to wait, they have to make a safe turn on the street until I start reading about the allegation of over 100 miles per hour. And obviously that's a tremendous amount of distance to go in a period of time. I think it's, if I know I think it's something like 150 feet per second. I think, but I can't use my own. But either way, it's fast, so it would take a lot of speed. So, and then I had a better idea in regard to it. I will tell you one thing I definitely had determined is that release conditions, one way or the other, he's not to operate a motor vehicle at all, any motor vehicle at all. Okay, so let me hear what you have to say.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would ask for OR release in this case. Mr. Doyle is gainfully employed. He has stable housing. He has no prior felony history, no prior violent history. The Form 4 does not indicate a higher elevated risk level. He also has very strong support in the community from friends and family, and he has hired private counsel and is not a flight risk. We have no objection to the not driving a motor vehicle while the case is pending, and we would ask that the court follows the PSA recommendation.
Okay, one thing you're not the first person I'm addressing, because they say, well, they're taking it seriously, not a flight risk, because they're hiring an attorney. Just because if someone or their family has resources doesn't make them less of a flight risk, because one person, $1,000 could maybe mean as much as $10 to another person. So a person who doesn't have any resources should not be treated any differently. And so all people should be treated similarly, okay, in regard to that. In terms of whether he's not a risk, because no felony convictions, though there is some history we have here in regard to speeding on highways. This is, apparently there's the allegation of racing between vehicle, his car and the other vehicle. And to be going that speed and then, impacting on the gentleman who is coming out of the vehicle, causing is of great concern here. Obviously, you'll have another opportunity in the future to address release conditions.
And Your Honor, may I be heard?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, if the court is not inclined for OR release, we would ask for pretrial services for additional monitoring. I believe between pretrial services and the inability to drive a motor vehicle, that significantly lowers or completely eliminates any risk that the state or court may be concerned about his driving behavior.
First of all, okay. First of all, obviously, you're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. All right. I'm also going to include you're not to possess any alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription, and putting in you shall not operate a motor vehicle.
Your Honor, may I make a couple more comments?
Yeah, I'm giving you both a lot of leave in regard to this because I'm still, I have to make a decision on this, and I really haven't. Okay, go ahead.
I do note that the new criminal activity score is a 3.
Pardon, what?
The new criminal activity score is a 3, and I don't believe that pretrial services would be sufficient. I think the defendant has shown a disregard for authorities, for the law. He obviously has the reckless driving conviction that didn't deter him. Even last year's arrest with an open case still didn't deter him from driving and
One
racing.
thing, pretrial service, a lot of that is done by computer, in effect, having a scale. The court still believes in a human aspect to decision-making in regard to this. So, I think everybody's fortunate that no one was killed in regard to this case. That's one of these factors. I mean, if someone's thinking you don't race going allegedly over 100 miles per hour on a street, which probably, I'm guessing it was a 45 mile per hour zone. I don't know if it was listed in the Form 4 or not, but just guessing, that's what it was.
It was 45, Your Honor, and
Okay.
at 114, that's over double.
Okay. Because that type of street generally here, it's 45 miles per hour. I didn't know myself personally what it was. As you can see, I don't take this amount of time on any other case, so. I appreciate your comments in regard to pretrial services. However, I'm just thinking, but it was just a matter of luck. No one was killed, though there's some severe injuries to the alleged victim in this case. I'm saying bonding, security appearance bonding amount of $25,000. in regard to it after a great deal of thought in regard to that. And also, as said, I did consult with someone else because I didn't want to make a decision strictly on my own because there were a lot of thoughts going pro and con in regard to both ways. So that is my decision. Okay, step to your left, sir. And you'll have, if you want to speak to him some more back there, you're welcome to.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you, Your
Arrange
Honor.
with the officer. Okay.
Took it right.
Okay.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you certainly may.
Thank you.
All right, Leroy McDonald with Justin Duelna on deck. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Leroy LeBrand McDonald, 51181.
Okay, sir, you're here on a probation violation warrant. And it's, apparently you're on probation for possession of dangerous drugs. You're alleged to have violated terms 4, 5, and 15. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be for a revocation arraignment hearing at 201 West Jefferson on June 24th at 8:30. All right. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. No drugs without a valid prescription. And if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Another judge in that court has set bond in the amount of $2,500 security appearance bond. So if you're opposed to bond, make sure you contact your probation officer and show up for court. All right, step to your left, please, sir. Justin Buelna with Abran Perez on deck. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Justin Henry Buelna, 5/18/1979.
Okay. Looks like, sir, you have 3 matters before me. 2 of them apparently are probation matters, and 1 is a regular bench warrant, all bench warrants, but apparently on the 2 probation matters, there was an arraignment, and your lawyer appeared for you, and the judge excused your appearance because she had said, I think it's a she, right? She had said that she'd recently been in communication with you in regard to that, but then I think your bonds were forfeited, okay? But the reason I mentioned this about waiving your appearance, I'm going to mention what the allegations are, because you weren't present, even though your attorney probably would have told you that, okay? So that's why I'm looking very carefully at this and looking at my notes so I can tell you. So let's start with, your judge made the bond decisions in regard to all 3 of them, okay? And let's start with 2000, and you already have an attorney on them, and it'll be the same, it should be the same court dates, but let's check on that. In 2013, 437-214, you're alleged to violate terms 1 and 6, and obviously if you get out, contact your probation officer in 72 hours, no alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. In CR 2023-127-847, that's just a regular bench warrant. You were extradited from New Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Also, that's on a theft that means transportation class 3 felony. You already have a lawyer, and appointing and your next court date will be June 24th at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson.
Okay.
Okay, and then finally, in CR 2015-100-798-001, another theft that means a transportation charge, but that's based on a probation.
Yeah.
And you'll be 624 at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson, alleging a violation of terms 1 and 6, same release conditions the other one. Your judge on each one of them is set bond the amount of cash bond of $2,000, so a total of $6,000 cash.
That's what my bond is?
A total of $6,000, but there's one other thing, let me look at. You also have a warrant out of the Chandler City Court, okay? And so I also just tell you, I also work out of that court, I'll be there tomorrow morning, so there's a possibility you might be seeing me tomorrow morning. I want you to think I'm following you, but there's a possibility if I'm handling the in-custody court tomorrow, you'll be seeing me or another judge out in Chandler tomorrow morning.
So I got court tomorrow in Chandler?
Yeah.
Do you know what the charge is?
Yeah, I can just tell you. $757 bond. It's, you know what, it doesn't say.
It doesn't say what it is for?
No. Let me just check the other one in case if they list it. No, I don't have that information.
Okay, that's fine.
But you'll find out tomorrow morning. Generally, it's an 8:30 calendar.
Okay.
That's, I guess, you'll be brought over. So I don't know if they're going to transport you to the Gilbert Mesa holding facility. But,
Okay, so as
Gilbert
of right,
Chandler one, I mean.
so as of right now,
It's 6,000. It's
Yeah,
actually
don't pay
6,000 cash plus 757 security appearance bond at this
Okay.
point.
All right.
But if you postpone, you got to show up for all the courts, including Chandler.
Okay, now you said I had 3 different court dates?
No, let me see. They'll be on your paperwork, okay?
Okay.
But Chandler is something different, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think I know what it's for.
Okay. Mr. Perez. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Aaron Michael Perez, 10-385.
Okay, you have 2 matters before me. One's a probation violation, one's a new case. Let's start with the probation matter. It's in 2021-118722. That's, you're on probation for possession of dangerous drugs. You're alleged to have violated terms 4 and 15. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be at 201 West Jefferson on June 24th at 8:30. Likewise, with the other folks, you have to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. No alcohol, either possess or consume it. No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. And your judge out there has set bond in the amount of $750 security appearance bond. You now have a new case, possession of narcotic drugs, class 4 felony. Appointing a lawyer for you on that. And okay, good. And your court date, that one will be a different court, but eventually they'll be put in the same courthouse. Okay. 175 West Madison, you'll have a status conference on June 23rd at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing on June 26th at 8:30. Same release conditions in terms of contacting the probation officer, same thing about weapons and alcohol, etc. Because you have a bond set on the other one, so there's a possibility you can get credit for both at the same time. I set a bond of $100 on that one. So it's just adds to it. That otherwise, if they release you on one, they wouldn't transport you necessarily on both cases, only one. So that's why I did the $100 bond. Okay. Step to your left, please.
Thank you.
Joseph Harris with Marlene Cook on deck.
Birthday 5404, Joseph Harris.
Thank you very much, sir. You've got 2 matters before me, and one is a justice court case, and the other one is a probation violation. But let me look at something else you have here. You have something out of Phoenix City. Is there a hold on him for Phoenix?
It shouldn't be. I took care of that one.
What was that?
The violation for
Theft and failure to appear. It's shoplifting and a failure to appear. Is there
no.
There's no hold on him? Okay, well, the reason I do, I let people know about it so they don't get surprised. Okay, if I issue a certain thing, they postpone or get released, and they say, no, you're not going anywhere. Okay, okay, let's start with the probation violation. You're based on a class 4 felony. Apparently it's having a weapon by being a prohibited person, class 4 felony. I am appointing a lawyer for you.
A weapon? What type of weapon?
Okay, 1 second. I have to look. This is going to be changing this one, by the way.
Because I already have.
Hold 1 second, sir. You actually have a warrant out of Sierra Vista Justice Court, but it doesn't look like there's a hold on you for that also. Okay.
Yeah, but that's non-expeditable, and I don't live out
No,
there.
I don't think they're holding you on that, so I'm just sort of mentioning to you there is a warrant out of Sierra Vista. All right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, my bad.
Pardon?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, I decided to try to give people that information, okay. But anyway, in terms of the probation violation, you're alleged. Okay, I didn't have to put that
Is it the
in.
one again here?
Oh, 1 second, I have to put something in here to let you know. Okay, you're alleged to violate term 1, not being a law-abiding citizen. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your court date for that will be at 201 West Jefferson on June 20th.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, sir?
Oh, sure. You have I appointed a lawyer for you,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And anytime you don't hear me, please say something, okay? You're going to be at 201 West Jefferson in Phoenix for probation revocation arraignment hearing on June 24th at 8:30.
Okay.
That's on the probation violation, okay? Obviously, if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Don't consume any alcohol or possess it. No weapons and no drugs without a valid prescription. Bond has been set on that one at $500 security appearance bond. Now, in regard to your justice court case, it's new case of DUI, class 1 misdemeanor. I'm appointing a lawyer for you on that one also. You're going to be due there on June 20th at 8:30, the Agua Fria Justice Court. The address will be there. Same release conditions there, and because you have a bond set on the other one, I said bond, so you can possibly get credit for both. It will be $100, so a total of $600. Security appearance bond, so you can go to a bondsman. All right, but keep your paperwork so you know where you got to go for both courts. All right.
So much.
Marlene Cook.
Your Honor, before you call that, I just have one question on the Daniel Doyle matter.
Sure.
if I may.
Even though counsel's not here, I'll accept it. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask if I could have the status conference moved. I'm actually out of town on the 23rd. Would it be
I don't
possible to
think we
set it
have
on
the
the
power.
24th?
You might have to bring a motion there because I don't think we have the power to do it here.
It just automatically says?
Yeah. Am I right? Yeah.
It's on my.
Okay.
It's automatically set here. That's why
Okay.
sometimes we have probation violations and new cases, and they're set at the same time, which is, you can't be at the same place at the same time.
Right.
So you're gonna have to,
File
whoever's
motion
assigned
on
to
that.
it,
Okay, thank
do
you, Your
that.
Honor.
Okay, but it's a good question though. Thank you. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Martin Cook, 12/30/1976.
All right, so you're here on a probation violation warrant, and because you're on probation for possession of narcotic drugs, you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I appointed a lawyer for you. You'll have your next court date at 201 West Jefferson at June 24th at 8:30. If you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours release. You can't possess, consume any alcohol, or can't possess any weapons or no drugs without a valid prescription. Another judge has set bond for you in the amount of $250 secured appearance bond. All right, step to your left, please, sir. Andre White with Allison Werner on deck. All right, good. Sir. Your name and date of birth, please.
Andre White, 11/13/1994.
Are you being held on something else?
No, sir.
Because when I ask that question for people wearing orange, maybe because what they're wearing or because they have other charges, so I always like to know.
This was just been in custody since the 8th, just on.
Okay, that's why. That's what said there are two reasons, so I don't have to tell you about how that might affect this.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because this is a page 2. Officer, do you have anything else on him?
I don't.
Okay, you're here in a probation violation. You're on the probation possession of burglary tools, and you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. If you get out, obviously contact your probation officer within 72 hours. No drugs without a valid prescription, no weapons, and no possession or consumption of any alcohol. As I said, I appointed a lawyer for you. You'll be at 201 West Jefferson for a probation revocation arraignment hearing on June 24th at 8:30. And another judge over there has set bond in the amount of $250, secured appearance bond. Because if you get out, you know what you've got to do. All right? Step to your left, please. Allison Werner with Bailey Nelson on deck. Your name and date of birth, please.
Allison Caroline Werner, 5589.
All right, you got 2 probation violation matters, and then you also have a justice court warrant. It looks like you're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia for both your probation matters and your charge out of North Valley Justice Court on that warrant is out of possession of drug paraphernalia. The probation matters are class 6 felonies. The one in justice court is a class 1 misdemeanor. But let's just deal with the 2 probation matters, which are 2023-141606 and 2023-107-185, appointing a lawyer for you on both. Your court dates for those will be at 201 West Jefferson on June 24th at 8:30. As I said, you're alleged to violate terms 3 and 5. If you get out, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. You can't consume or possess any alcohol. You cannot possess any weapons. You cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription. And on this one, your judge set bond amount of $250, and it's the same way with the other one. So your total bond on the 2 probation matters is $500 secured appearance bond. Now, you have a warrant out at North Valley Justice Court. The address will be on your paperwork. I did appoint a lawyer for you who's going to appear for you for limited representation regarding the bond issue only if you're unable to post the bond. Your court date there is June 20th at 8:30. Same release conditions as the other, and just so you can be transported there and make sure bond was set in the amount of $100, which is lower than the bond they were asking. All right, so step to your left, please. See 2 different courts to go to. All right, Bailey Nelson with Jessica Huda on deck, or Howda. So your name and date of birth, please.
95, Bailey Nelson, 9596.
And you're Bailey Nelson?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got 3 matters, all are probation matters. I'm appointing a lawyer for you on each one, and it'll get the same court date for each one. And you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. Looks like you're on probation in 2023-105-302 and 2022-141-812 for possession of narcotic drugs. In CR 2025-102-435, you're on probation for possession of dangerous drugs. Obviously, like I'm telling the other folks who are on probation violations, if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. You can't possess or consume any alcohol. You can't possess any weapons. You cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Your judge has set bond on each one of these for $250 security appearance bond. So your alleged total bond, security bond, appearance bond of $750. Okay, step to your left. Oh, actually, sir, I apologize for something in regard to this. In regard to 2025, yeah, it's all, never mind. They're revocation arraignment hearings. That's right, June 24th. Okay, step to your left, please. Jessica Howda and Christopher Ramos on deck. There are 2 ways of pronouncing your name. I said both ways, so which one is it?
It's Jessica Hoda.
Say the last name again.
Hoda?
That was almost great. All right, your name or date of birth, please.
8/22/81.
All right, you're also here on you have 2 matters. Just double check. Both probation violation matters, and you're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia for both, and both of them you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I appoint a lawyer for you on both, and your court dates for both will be June 24th at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. I have to amend this, by the way, since I don't have. Let me just. If you get out, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. No drugs without a valid prescription, no possession or consumption of alcohol, and no weapons. And let me just make sure. All right, and so if you post your bonds, which is a total of $300, it's $150 on each, secured appearance bond, make sure you contact your probation officer promptly within 72 hours and show up for your court dates, or else a warrant would issue, and you could lose your bonds. All right, step to your left, please.
Thank you.
Christopher Ramos with Nicholas Gibbs on deck. All right, So your name and date of birth, please.
Christopher Ramos, 10/4/1989.
You're also here on a probation violation matter. Looks like you're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your court date will be at 201 West Jefferson for a probation revocation arraignment hearing on June 24th at 8:30. Likewise, you have to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You can't possess or consume any alcohol, no weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. Another judge over there set bond for you in the amount of $100 security appearance bond. So if you post your bond, you know what you've got to do, right?
Yes.
All right, step to your left, please. Nicholas Gibbs. Give me your name and date of birth, please.
Hi, Nicholas Gibbs, 4295.
Okay, thank you. You have a low voice, but I did hear you. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, you're on probation for misdemeanor shoplifting and possession of dangerous drugs, class 6 felony. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I did appoint a lawyer for you. Your court date will also be on June 24th at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. Likewise, you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Can't possess, consume any alcohol, can't possess any weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. On the original charge, you can't return to see the alleged crime or initiate contact with the alleged complainant or witness. All right, and another judge over there set bond the amount of $100. All right, a security appearance bond. So if you get out, contact the probation officer and show up to court. All right?
So I'm getting out?
If you post bond of $100.
Of 100?
100. All right. Corey Miguel with Andres Gonzalez Guerrero on deck. All right. Your name and date of birth, please.
Corey Curtis Miguel, 8/11/94.
You're also here on a probation matter. You're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia. You're alleged to violate terms 3 and 5. And I did appoint, if I didn't mention, you got to appoint a lawyer for you. The same thing with the other folks. Contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. No possession, consumption of alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. So June 24th at 8:30 is your probation revocation arraignment at 201 West Jefferson. Bond was set by your judge in the amount of $100 security appearance bond. So if you get out, contact your probation officer and show up for court. All right, step to your left.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andres Gonzalez Guerrero with Randall Myers on deck. Okay, so your name and date of birth, okay.
Andres Gonzalez Guerrero, and date of birth is 7/21/99.
So I got a little problem here. I want to be able to release you, but I just got to ask you a question. It says here you got a probation hold.
Yeah.
It must be out of the city court, right?
It's Mesa, yeah, and I actually, I got a payment plan with them. So,
A payment plan? So,
yeah.
do you have a court date with them?
Court date? No, I have to go.
Tomorrow morning, probably, right?
Tomorrow?
Does he have to hold from Mesa? It says here you got a $500 bond.
Yeah.
See, so, but they, of course, they'll have to pick you up. So let me just explain to you. You got the DUI here at an ag DUI class, based on suspension or revocation, a class 4 felony. I am appointing a lawyer for you. And your next court date will be at 175 West Madison on July 2nd for a status conference at 8:30 and a witness preliminary on July 7th at 8:30. You cannot consume any alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. Ordinarily, when someone's got to hold somewhere, I can't release them, but I'm going to take a chance in this case because I saw it was out of a city court thing. So I'm releasing you to pretrial services. There's a packet, it'll explain how you contact them, and also you can do alcohol testing and drug testing. So you make sure you get that done, there'll also be a warrant. So if you're not, you're going to have to let pretrial services in your own custody and let your lawyer know if you're still in custody, why you wouldn't be in court on July 2nd. It's July 7th, all right?
Okay, so wait, I can't...
Because you'll be, this charge, you won't have any hold on you. Ordinarily, you'd be out within about 4 hours, but you're gonna have to see a Mesa judge first, okay?
So I can't be released?
No, not until you see the Mesa judge.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying I'm taking a chance and thinking you're probably gonna be released, but I can't guarantee that. That's up to Mesa.
Tonight or?
No, it's probably tomorrow morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So.
What about the bond? How does that work?
What? There's no bond here.
Oh,
You
no-
can post a bond on the Mesa charge,
Yeah,
but you still gotta show up there.
yeah,
That's $500,
okay.
and I don't think there's any other hold that I'm aware of.
So, tomorrow I would be released from,
Well, that's up to the judge there.
okay, I got
That's
you,
their decision. They're not Superior Court. This is Superior Court.
I got you.
And you have to ask the officers what you do if you do have the money or ability to get bonded down. They'll explain to you how to do it. All right. All right. So, but either way, if let's say you bond out tonight, you better show up for court there tomorrow. Okay.
4:30 PM?
No, I'm guessing it's 8:30, judging how it works. But I'm not positive about that.
So I would have to be transferred.
You'd have to check with them. Okay. All right.
All right.
That's your list. It might even be earlier in Mesa. I don't know. Remember, you're getting drug and alcohol testing. All right. Randall Myers with Sakima Nahi on deck. All right. So your name and date of birth, please.
Randall Myers, April 15th, 1977.
All right. You got an arrest warrant out of Superior Court for possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and resisting arrest, Class 1 misdemeanor. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your court date will be at 175 West Madison in Phoenix at 8:30 for a status conference on July 2nd and a witness preliminary hearing on July 7th. Sir, I know you had the charge. They probably sent a summons, but you didn't show up. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. So you'll probably be getting out in about 4 hours, is my guess. But you have to contact them. You'll have the paperwork from the officer. Read it carefully because you have to be in contact with them, make sure you're in compliance with them, and get drug testing. If you don't get that done, they're going to recommend a warrant because we see that all the time when people don't take it seriously and they get warrants, and you don't want that. So you'll be speaking with your lawyer, but make sure you comply with pretrial services. Okay? Step to your left, please. Sakima Nahi. All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Sakima Nahi, May 12, 2006.
Okay, sir, you are charged with possession of weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, escape in the second degree, carrying a deadly weapon, being under 21 years of age. Let me start that again. Possession of weapon by a prohibited person, escape in the second degree, Class 4 and a Class 5, failing to admit yet it carried a deadly weapon, Class 1 misdemeanor, and carrying a deadly weapon, being under 21 years of age. I appointed a lawyer for you. You're not to possess any weapons because your age can't possess any alcohol. I will tell you this, what the prosecutors were recommending? They were recommending a $25,000 bond, okay? I've looked at the limited facts I have here, and I can just tell you, sir, you better be smart about this because I'm going to release you to pretrial services. You'll be getting out in 4 hours, about 4 hours. You better comply with them because next time you'll probably have a significant bond. So you got a break there. I hope you understand that and show up to court and consult with your lawyer and listen to your lawyer. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, step to your left, please. Mario Valle. That's when I pushed the button by mistake. So I changed from gray to whatever red, whatever color that is. It's red or pink?
Red.
Okay, thanks. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Mario Valle, 8/15/83.
All right, sir, you've got the court is Tempe, but for Guadalupe Municipal Court, a charge with driving a license suspended or revoked. I cannot appoint a lawyer for you because of the next charge. The address for your court will be on your paperwork. You have to be there on July 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Don't be late.
Okay.
A lot better than being here. Show up for that court. And obviously, don't drive unless you have a valid driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, I got to change that, by the way. I left that portion out. you must drive with a valid driver's license. I forgot to check that, so that's part of it. But I'm releasing you on your own recognizance.
Okay.
So be smart and show up on July 7th at 8:30 at that court.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, step to your left, please.
All right, thank you.
Cesar Peralta with Faith Huntley on deck. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Cesar Peralta, January 8th, 1996.
Okay, sir, let me just double check something, because I remember one thing. You get a warrant on knowingly display of false license plates. It might be a failure to appear on that also. They wanted a cash bond of over $375. But I'm going to release you on your own cognizance. Like I said, no one I know here has enjoyed their time here. It's a whole lot better showing up for court. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, don't be a mistake of missing court. It's July 7th at 10:30. The address will be on your paperwork.
Okay.
All right. And all right. I'll give you your paperwork. Good luck to you, sir. Faith Huntley. All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Faith Huntley, 32077.
Okay, you are charged in the Goodyear City Court. The address will be on your paperwork. You're charged with domestic violence charges of endangerment, Class 1 misdemeanor, and assault, a Class 3 misdemeanor. It'll be up to that court to decide whether an attorney will be appointed for you, okay? Your next court date will be at Goodyear City Court, July 2nd at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't be late. And I was reading the limited information I do have here, and I'm just going to say, I'm not seeing a trial or anything like that, but it appears you have a lot of remorse and not sure what happened. So I've amended the terms, so listen to this very carefully to what I've said here, okay? And I assume your ex-husband is the father of your two kids, right?
Yes.
Okay, there's a reason why, and I'll explain to you why in a second, why I asked that question. And he does not live with you, is that correct?
My ex-husband,
The one that was there, allegedly at the scene there.
the one who was there, he does live in the house.
Oh, he does, okay.
Yeah.
Good, that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah,
Okay.
he does live
Okay,
there.
well, listen very carefully what I have to say. It will be in your paperwork. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims, okay? No drugs without a valid prescription. Now, this is where I've made the terms, some of them a little bit different. You certainly could return to the scene of the alleged crime one time with a police officer on a civil standby to pick up your personal effects. And this is where I've made an additional thing, taking into consideration everything I've just mentioned to you. You may return to the scene of the alleged crimes and or initiate contact with the alleged victims only with prior written permission by the victim's representative, their father, because they're too young to get permission. So it has to be from their father. Yeah.
My daughter in question is an adult. She lives in the house, but she's almost 28 years old.
Oh, I didn't know that based on that. So I'm gonna have to amend that then.
Yeah, we do have another child together. He was not involved in that.
I know, I said victims, okay, but of course you can't go back there without those permission.
Yeah.
So let me just try to figure out how to word this. Hopefully this makes sense. All right. You may return to the scene of alleged crime and or initiate contact with the alleged victims only with prior written permission by the victims, I wrote son in parentheses, representative, their father, and the alleged victim, the adult daughter. Okay, that should, okay? So
Yeah.
you know what you've got to do, but that's if they give written permission, both of them give written permission, you'll be able to go back and initiate contact with them. All right?
Yes.
All right, step to your left, but you'll be getting out, it probably takes about 4 hours for you to be processed.
Okay, thank
All right.
you.
All right, and then finally, we have a house call. This is Milton Lasco. Apparently, he's a house call because he was combative.
Commissioner, can you sign number 4 and then number 28?
Sign it?
Yeah, for number 4.
Oh, that's right, I did edit it, so let me just make sure it's there. It's put in here. Yeah, I've got to do something different because I'm not accepting it. Okay, that number 4 is done. What's the other one?
Amend number 28. You don't have to change anything. I just didn't sign off on it.
Just 28, though?
Correct, just 28.
Oh, amend, that's right. How did it work?
2 seconds. I'm printing out. All right.
Excellent, thank you.
Oh, go ahead and sign it, I guess.
Now. Great, okay. Because sometimes you'll hit something and you'll hit twice, it gets to the gray thing, so. All right. For Milton Lasco, I said apparently he's combative, that's why we're doing a house call. It's got a, it's got a new case of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, class 3 misdemeanor. I cannot appoint a lawyer for him. His next court date will be Goodyear City Court, July 2nd at 1 o'clock. He cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime or initiate contact with the alleged victim, but he'll be released on his own recognizance. Okay? So it's only one house call. Thank you. Giselle, appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're off the record?
Yeah.
Yes?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, the gentleman in the back, and a couple people. Stand up. Don't make everyone else wait. All right, now everyone, please be seated. All right, good evening. It's 8 o'clock calendar. It's June 17th, 2025. The court orders for taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. When you call your name, you stand behind the podium, give me your name and your date of birth. All right. I'm not going to say out loud all your release conditions. They will be on your paperwork, so you'll be responsible for reading it. If I do say you can be released on a secured, your release conditions are a secured bond, you can go to a bondsman. It's my understanding they do collect calls. Their numbers are on some of the walls of the jail. If you can't find it, you can ask one of the officers to assist you in regard to that. In regard to release conditions, at a minimum, they'll say no drugs without a valid prescription and don't drive without a valid driver's license. For those of you who are on probation warrants, it'll say do not, if you get out, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All right. Okay, other interpreter members? Good. And any health calls? Oh, wow. All right, Alejandro Moreno.
Alejandro.
All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Alejandro, 51006.
All right, Ms. Moreno, you have the charges here of possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, and criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. I do find probable cause you believe you committed the felony offense of dangerous drugs. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. I will tell you this, you'll have a status conference on June 23rd at 8:30 and a witness preliminary hearing scheduled for June 26th at 8:30. That's both at 175 West Madison Street. I would note that you were released on a felony on or about June 13th, 2025 in CR 2025-124393. So pursuant to Rule 7.2B, you'll be held without bond at this time. You'll have an evidentiary hearing on June 24th at 1:30 at 175 West Madison to determine whether bond can be set. Your lawyer will explain to you what that's about. Step to your left. Erica Arguelles with Joshua Randall on deck. If you're on deck, have a seat just outside the courtroom. Erica Arguelles. Yeah. All right, man. Your name and date of birth, please.
Erica Leroy Arguelles, 11/13/1997.
Okay, you got to. This is for acts alleged occurred August 18th of 2023. It's a grand jury indictment. Okay, charging you with assault with intent to participate in a riot, class 2 felony, criminal damage, class 4 felony, and arson of an occupied jail or prison, a class 4 felony. All right. I did appoint a lawyer for you, and obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, you have your not guilty arraignment at 175 West Madison Street on June 24th at 8:30. Can't have any contact with any alleged complainant or witness. The judge, upon the return of the indictment, set bond for you in the amount of $25,000 cash only. But you got a DOC hold now, or you're done with DOC?
I just got here for prison.
So they brought you up here, right?
Yeah.
And so it most likely you won't be taken back there until after this case is taken care of, is my guess. So just so you know, okay?
Okay.
And so you'll talk to your lawyer. There's always a possibility. It doesn't happen very often, but you'll talk to your lawyer about that. All right. Step to your left, please. Joshua Randall with Malik Castleberry next.
Here.
Your name and date of birth.
Joshua Kyle Randall, 9588.
All right, you've got here two matters before me. One's a probation violation warrant, the other one's a bench warrant. So let's deal with the probation violation warrant first. That's in 2011 154747002. And looks like you're on probation for ag assault class 3 felony. and appoint a lawyer for you. Your revocation arraignment hearing will be on June 24th at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. You're alleged to have violated term number 1. To get out, obviously, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. You can't possess any weapons. You can't consume or possess any alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. You can't initiate contact with the original victim or victims. The judge said, there's some confusion about whether the judge said bond at $10,000 or not, but I'm making this $5,000 on the security appearance on this one. On your other one, on your new case, well, not the new case, but the bench warrant, 2024-149380, you're in charge here with burglary, 2 counts of burglary in the second degree, class 3 felony. You already have an attorney on that. Bond was, you were put here from DOC. Yes, it was a $10,000 bond. That was already set. You'll be in court on June 25th at 8:30. You can't return the scene of alleged crime and no alcohol, and must report to probation upon your release. But of course, you're in DOC to 32, right?
Yeah, question for you though, Judge.
Sure, go ahead. Just talk a little louder for me, okay?
Question, my family bonded me out on the 2024 case.
When? Let me look it up. Say,
October 23rd, I believe.
Let me see what I have here, okay? This is something you may have to address with your lawyer about, but let me see if I can answer your question now. I'll try to, okay? Just give me a moment. The 22, you won the, okay.
They actually bonded me out.
Yeah, let me see. What date do you think they did it?
About October 23rd or 24th of 2024.
Okay, let me see what I can find.
Maybe a little bit before that, but it was right there.
I don't see it. Okay,
October 30th, 2024.
What date?
October 30th.
Yeah, when skip right over. Oh, here we go.
That's the day I got arrested for a different case.
Let me see. Let's see what the paperwork says here. Okay, well, that's just the date when it was set.
Here's the paperwork.
Oh, okay. Because I don't show the my stuff here. Thank you. Let's compare the case numbers also. 2024. All right. 8. They did post. It says it's posted $7,500.
Yeah, you never get
But
my money back.
It doesn't reflect it. Do you show what you reflected here? See, the problem is, if the bond is set, you get credit for the charges. And if you post a bond, you don't get credit for it. You get the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she never got the money back.
Officer, am I allowed to give this to him, this paperwork, so he has to give it to his lawyer? Because that way you can at least give it to your lawyer, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks. I just can't find it right now. That's something he or she will have to check.
Appreciate you.
But at least you'll have that paperwork, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so as I told the young lady, that you probably won't go back to DOC until this is all taken care of. Okay? All right, if you would step over there.
Thank you, sir.
Lily Castleberry with Aurora Miller on deck.
How you doing, Judge?
Good. Your name and date of birth, please.
Malik Castleberry, January 20th, 1996.
Okay, sir, I just want to double check something first before we go any further. Yeah, okay.
Well, I can wait.
What?
I wanted to say something, but I can wait.
Okay, one thing, I generally recommend people that don't talk about their case, about the case, because everything's recorded, and I'm not your trial judge.
It's not about the case.
I know, I just wanted to say a couple of things. Let's go over this. You are charged with burglary in second degree, a class 3 felony, and trafficking in stolen property in second degree, a class 2 felony. Now, this is what I want to talk to you about. At this point, I don't find I can appoint an attorney for you. So, see if you can hire an attorney. If you find out you can't afford one, you can always petition your judge, your assigned judge, see if he or she will appoint one for you, but no promises on that, okay? That's what you like to know. So your next court date will be at 175 West Mass Street at 8:30 for a status conference on June 23rd. At this point, a witness preliminary hearing is scheduled for June 26th at 8:30. You cannot return to the scene of alleged crime or initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. and bond has been set in the amount of $7,500, security appearance bond. So what did you want to tell me? It's not about the facts of the case.
No, it's not about the case, but,
it was, okay.
I have a newborn that's probably about to be born this week or next week, because my lady is 38 weeks pregnant, and we just moved, and, I was just trying to see if I can do any, my own reconnaissance or any supervision.
What you can do is, when you, either hire an attorney or one is appointed for you, you can contact them and see if they can talk to your assigned judge, see if they'll reduce the bond. Okay? So if you would step over there, and good luck to you and for the baby's mother. All right, Aurora Miller with John Hollins on deck. Oh, there you are. All set? Okay. Your name and date of birth, please.
Aurora Miller, February 7th.
Louder for me.
February 27th, 1997.
All right. You got two matters before me. One is you got a warrant at the Yavapai County Superior Court for 2 counts of aggravated DUI based on suspension or revocation, and 3 counts of aggravated DUI having a .08 or more, being under 15 years of age. That's out of Yavapai County. A lawyer will be appointed for you in next court date, and that's a warrant from there. No alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. They set bond for you in the amount of $7,500. Now, I mentioned to you your arraignment hearing, I should tell you, arraignment hearing in Yavapai County, and the address will be on your paperwork, is June 20th at 8:30. However, you've got a new case, and they may not transport you until this case is taken care of. And does she have a hold out of Phoenix City?
She has court for Phoenix.
Yeah, so she saw someone, or will it be tomorrow morning? What?
She still has to go to court, yes.
All right, so I'm going to see a Phoenix judge tomorrow morning also. So anyway, the charge here is possession of narcotic drugs, class 4, and drug paraphernalia, class 6. I appointed a lawyer for you, and your court dates this one will be at 175 West Madison on June 23rd at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing on June 26th at 8:30.
Wait, that's what
I reduced it. I made a lower bond of $200 because you got the Yavapai County warrants this way. Make sure you get transported to court. All right? So step to your left, please. John Hollins, with Robert Jimenez on deck.
All is John.
Now, everybody wake up, so everyone else just wants to get out of here, so be considerate of them. All right. Sir, your name and date of birth, please.
John Hollins, 42471.
All right, you got 3 probation violations in front of me here. And on all of them, you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I'm appointing a lawyer for you on all 3, and the court dates will be the same on each one. You're on probation for possession of narcotic drugs for sale in CR 2021-11290-680. You're on probation for possession of narcotic drugs in 2021-115-445-002, and you're on probation for possession of dangerous drugs in 2024-125-361. All right. And all of them, if you are able to bond out, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You're not to possess any weapons. You can't possess or consume any alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. Now, in the one that in 2021-129-068, your judge has set bond in the amount of $4,000 security appearance bond. In 2021-115-445, your judge set bond in the amount of $1,500 security appearance bond. And finally, in 2024-125-361, another judge has set bond for you $250, and you'll be at your revocation arraignment hearing at 201 West Jefferson on June 24th at 8:30 in the morning.
So, I was gonna ask you, I got, 2 possessions and 1 sale charge, or?
Well, that's what you're on probation, is 2 possessions and 1 possession for sale. That's what you're on probation for.
Oh, okay, so we got 2 possessions and 1 for sales?
Yeah. It's on your paperwork also, by the way.
Excuse me?
It'll be on your paperwork.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Robert Jimenez with Denrell Tewa on deck. So your name and date of birth, please.
Robert Jimenez, date of birth is December 5th, 1982.
Okay. Sir, you have a grand jury indictment warrant against you for acts alleged to have occurred on about August 31st, 2023. Charging you with possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony. I appointed a lawyer for you. Your not guilty arraignment will be at 175 West Mazza Street on June 24th at 8:30. And the judge who handled the case upon the return of the grand jury ordered that bond be set in the amount of $2,500 security appearance bond. Okay, I don't know anything about the facts of the case. That's something another judge ruled. All right, so step to your left, please.
The terms of the bond?
There's a bond of $2,500. You can go to a bondsman. That amount was set by another judge.
I don't have the means of bond.
I can't hear you.
I don't have the means of a bond. Is there any way I can get released?
No, that's another judge has made that ruling. I'm not, since they had more facts than I did on the case. Okay? Denrell Tewa with Frank Mendez on deck.
You want Mendez?
No, Tewa. That gentleman, yeah. All right, sir, your name and date of birth.
Denrell Yayo, June 24, 2005.
You're here on 3 probation violations in CR 2024-1. You have the same court date for each. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Obviously, if you get out, you have to contact your probation officer in 72 hours. You can't consume or possess any alcohol. You can't possess any weapons or no drugs without a valid prescription. Let's start with 2024-12220. You're on, by the way, all of them you're alleged to have violated terms 3, 4, 5, and 15. You're on probation for possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. Your judge said bond amount of $500, security appearance bond. In CR 2024-000407, you're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia, and your judge said bond amount of $750. And finally, in CR 2023-156693, you're on probation for facilitation to commit shoplifting, and your judge said bond amount of $1,000. Your court date, and as I said, I appointed a lawyer for you. You'll be a probation revocation arraignment hearing. It'll be at 201 West Jefferson at 8:30 on June 24th of this year. All right, step to your left, please. Frank Mendez with Ursula Antone on deck. So your name and date of birth, please.
Frank Mendez, February 4, 2001.
What's the name?
Frank Mendez, February 4, 2001.
2001?
Yes.
All right, you're on a probation violation. I guess you're on probation for misconduct involving weapons. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I appointed a lawyer for you. For your probation revocation arraignment hearing at 201 West Jefferson on June 24th at 8:30. I said you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. To get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. No alcohol, no weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. Another judge over there at the probation violation court said bond fee in the amount of $750, security appearance bond. So, step to your left, please. Ursula Antone with Travis Cole on deck. Your name and date of birth, please.
Ursula Anton, 32390.
You're on probation for, you're on probation violation warrant. You're on probation for, it looks like an attempted aggravated assault, class 6 felony. I appointed a lawyer for you, and you'll have your court date on at 201 West Jefferson at 8:30 on June 24th of this year. Same thing. You need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You need to you can't consume or possess any alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. A judge in the probation violation court said bond for you in the amount of $500. That's a security appearance bond, so you can go to a bondsman. If you post your bond, make sure you show up at court and contact your probation officer. All right, step to your left, please. Travis Coley with Jacob Reynolds on deck.
Travis, go away. Travis, go away.
He's wearing a black shirt, if that helps.
One thing on the head, sir.
All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
My name is Travis Coley Jr., 10/16/1991.
You're here on a probation violation. I think you're on probation for facilitating bringing contraband into a correctional facility. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I appointed a lawyer for you. Your court date will be for probation revocation arraignment hearing at 201 West Jefferson, Phoenix, June 24th at 8:30. If you get out, contact your probation officer in 72 hours release. Can't possess or consume any alcohol. Can't possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. Another judge in the probation violation court set bond for you in the amount of $500. That's a security appearance bond, so you would be able to go through your bondsman. So June 24th at 8:30. All right, step to your left, please. Jacob Reynolds with Jimmy Kemple on deck. Yes, sir, your name and date of birth, please. Your name and date of birth.
Jacob Reynolds, 10/29/1992.
All right, sir, you got a probation violation, or it's based on a class 6 felony. Apparently you're on probation for aggravated assault, alleging violation of 4 and 15. If I remember correctly, you were arrested at the probation office today?
Yeah.
It was on a warrantless arrest for that, but they mentioned it was terms 4 and 15. Okay, so you're aware of that, okay. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you. You'll have your revocation arraignment hearing on June 24th at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. You're not to possess any weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. And if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. And bond was set in the amount of $500, security appearance bond. Okay, so step to your left, please. Jimmy Kemple with Kyler Bingham next. All right, sir, your name and date of birth?
It's Jimmy Kimple, 7/31/74.
Okay, you have 2 warrants out of the El Mirage City Court, okay? Let's talk about the one that's 2025-000110, interference with judicial proceedings, threatening, intimidating, disorderly conduct, and criminal trespass. Those, I think both those warrants are from the same date, June 11th, okay. I find that you're not indigent, so, tell you what, I'm going to amend this, by the way. Okay. Let me just check one thing here. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you, given the circumstances. You have a arraignment hearing on June 23rd at 10 o'clock in the morning at the El Mirage City Court. The address will be in your paperwork. They set bond for you in amount of $300. You're not to return to the scene of the crime or initiate contact with any alleged victim. No alcohol, and you must abide by any orders of protection issued or will be issued. That's on the first case. Then you got the other case out of in 2025-000159 on a criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. Once again, I'll amend this, by the way, so I can appoint a lawyer for you. Can't return to the scene of alleged crime or have any initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. Once again, 6/23 at 10 o'clock at El Mirage. On this one, I said bond amount of $50. Okay, step to your left, please.
Seems, I didn't catch
$350 total.
$350 total.
Yeah.
Like there's
You
no
can
way.
go to a bondsman on that. Kyler Bingham with Bo Waller on deck. Good evening, sir. Your name and date of birth, please.
Kyler Bingham, 12/27/96.
Okay. So you also have a probation violation. Looks like you're on probation for criminal trespass, class 6 felony. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. Appoint a lawyer for you. Like the other folks, for probation violations, you'll be in court 201 West Jefferson, June 24th at 8:30 for alleging violation of terms 3 and 5. And if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. You can't possess or consume any alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. And a judge in your probation violation set bond for you in the amount of $250 secured appearance bond. So if you post the bond, make sure you show up and contact your probation officer. All right, step to your left, please. Bo Waller with Michael Moreno on deck. Evening, sir. Your name and date of birth, please.
Bo Waller, September 21st, 81.
Okay, so you're in a probation violation. Looks like you're on probation for possession of dangerous drugs. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. Appoint a lawyer for you. For the other folks, you'll be at your probation revocation hearing June 24th at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. Likewise, if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours release. You can't possess, consume any alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and a judge from probation department set bond for you in the amount of $250 secured appearance bond. So if you get out, make sure you show up for court and contact your probation officer. Step to your left, please.
Thank you.
Michael Moreno.
Michael Moreno, 1986.
Oh, yeah. Do it by the microphone, so.
January 30th, 1986, Michael Moreno.
But when, January 30th, though, right?
January 30th.
Yeah, okay. Sir, you've got 2 probation violations. You're on probation in both cases, possession of drug paraphernalia. On both of them, you're alleged to violate term 3, 5, and 7. Appointing a lawyer for you on both. If you get out, contact your probation officer with 72 hours release. No weapons, no possession or consumption of alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. The key thing is contact your probation officer in 72 hours. On each one, another judge in probation violation set bonds of $250 each, so it's a $500 security appearance bond. Your court date will be June 24th at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. All right? Step to your left, please. Ashley Holohan with Catalina Godinez on deck. Ashley Holohan. Your name and date of birth, please.
Ashley Holohan, 12/16/82.
All right, you're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia. We're talking about CR 2022-030222. You're alleged to violate terms 3 and 5. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Like with the other folks, you'll be in a probation revocation arraignment hearing at 201 West Jefferson on June 24th at 8:30 in the morning. Contact your probation officer if you get out within 72 hours of release. No alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. And another judge in probation set bond in the amount of $200 security appearance bond. So if you get out, go to court and contact your probation officer. All right, step to your left, please. All right, Catalina Godinez with Laverne Archer on deck. All right, your name and date of birth, please.
March 15th, 1998, Catalina Isabel Richarte Godinez.
Okay, thank you. You've got an arrest warrant on, let's talk about it. Aggravated DUI have a passenger under 15, class 6 felony, and then an ag DUI having blood out with a passenger under 15 with a blood alcohol level of over 0.08, and finally 1 count with a passenger under 18, an ag DUI with a looks like with a blood alcohol of over 0.15. All 3 of them are class 6 felonies. I did appoint a lawyer for you, and you'll be in court at 175 West Madison Street in Phoenix. Don't lose your paperwork on July 2nd for a status conference at 8:30 and a witness preliminary hearing on July 7th. That's 5 days later. Now, I know you didn't appear in court, and I know they sent a summons for you, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So you'll be getting out in about 4 hours. I'm releasing you in pretrial services. Make sure there'll be a packet. Read it carefully because you have to contact them, be in compliance with their orders. They're also going to require alcohol testing and monitoring. So if you don't do that, be in compliance with them. If you don't show up for court, a warrant will issue, and you'll be back here.
Okay.
So it'll take a few hours for you to be processed, okay? But you'll be getting out tonight. All right. Laverne Archer.
Hello.
All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Laverne Archer, January 6, 1971.
71?
1.
71, okay. Does she have a hold at a city court case?
Huh?
Oh, just have an open case. See, a warrant, it says a warrant was issued, but it doesn't say where. And you have a warrant at a Phoenix City Court. Okay, the reason I mention this is because I'll tell you what, you'll understand what I'm saying after. Let me go over what I'm going to do in your case first. You're charged with possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony, and criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, class 3 felony. I appointed a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be a status conference at 175 West Madison at 8:30 on July 2nd, and a witness preliminary hearing on July 7th. Okay? I don't want you using any drugs. For instance, no you listen to me? No methamphetamine or any drugs without a valid prescription. But I'm going to release you to pretrial services. That's what I'm talking about. It'll take a few hours to process you. Okay? I want to make sure you're paying attention. Read the packet because you've got to contact them. You've got to get drug testing. If you don't do it, you'll be back here. There'll be another warrant. You understand that? The reason I mentioned about only holds, because it looks like you may have some holds out of Phoenix. Because let's say you're about to release you and they find out you have those warrants, they're going to hold you. So that's but according to the pre-trial services, they showed us some warrants. So just be forewarned, okay? You can get out according to my decision, but that doesn't affect Phoenix. So you might have to see them tomorrow morning, possibly, okay? Just want to let you know, all right? So step to your left, please. Matthew Hartleaf. So your name and date of birth, please.
Matthew Hartley, 6/30/92.
Okay, you got two matters before me. I think, let's see, I think they're both the same court. Yes, Santan Justice Court. And if you don't know where it is, the address is on your paperwork. You've got two warrants there. One is for DUI, based on,
Failure to pay fine.
yeah, let me tell you. And the other one is in driving with license suspended. Both of them are failure to pay, and they're getting old. Okay, they want bonds for you, and nice significant bonds. But I'm gonna, it's failure to pay. If you're smart, you'll start paying the money now. Okay,
I have the money.
I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. So,
Oh, thank you.
your punishment was here.
This was terrible.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go pay.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to tell people it's worth it to borrow your money, whatever you got to do legally, and pay off that money, make them happy, and make you happy.
I have the money, so I'll just pay it.
Yeah. So make sure you make a court date. I didn't mention to you what the date was. It's July 1st at 9 o'clock at the Santan Justice Court.
Okay.
Go there with money, and they'll make everybody happy. There might be some additional amounts, by the way, because they want a lot of money, at very high bonds. I must tell you. So
Thank you.
But I'm giving you a break. So be smart.
Appreciate
yourself,
it.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's on both cases, by the way. Okay.
Is it?
You got the paperwork for both.
Is it 6,000?
Well, no, it's zero, because I'm releasing you. But let's put it this way. All right, I can tell you.
I thought it was like at least 6,000, but if it's more than that, then I probably have to make payments.
Okay, let me just tell you. For one, they want your bond of $6,024.50. My guess that's what the fine is, but there might be some additional penalties because you're not having paid, and it's from over a couple of years ago, so maybe higher than that. And the other one is, let's see, $115. But remember, there are certain costs.
So I might be able to.
So maybe more than $6,200. Keep in mind. But if you show some good faith, that looks, it looks a lot better than sitting around and not showing up for court or paying anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
He'll give you the paperwork. And Colin Bresnahan. Okay, officer, you might as well take the folks out the road. Do you have anyone else who can take the folks out? Do you have anyone else who can take the folks out? I'm going to talk.
Sorry, would you?
No, I got to talk to you about something about an attorney. Okay, so.
Okay.
Okay, let's wait till. Well, just first give me your name, by the way.
Colin Bresnahan.
And your date of birth?
July 3rd, 93.
Okay. I was told that one of our clerks received a call from an attorney today. They may be representing you, but until they present a notice of appearance, we don't recognize that. I don't even know the name of the person.
You need to know the name of
No, I don't. I'm just telling you. I have no idea who the person is, and he or she did not file a notice of appearance, and they're not here. Okay. I'm just wondering. So right now, you're in that situation. Okay. Okay. So are you aware of that, sir?
I was potentially aware of potentially having an attorney show up.
Okay, but right now, you don't have an attorney.
Right.
A private attorney coming in, because they know enough to file what's called a notice of appearance. And there'd be a lot of different reasons why they're not here. Okay?
Okay.
He or she may not be here. But I just want to mention to you, I've been told that a call was made and they might appear. So I can conjecture certain things, but all right.
Okay.
Oh, hold on 1 second now.
It may be that my dad is setting me up with an attorney.
Maybe
but
it isn't paid yet or something.
Yeah. I initially spoke about getting one appointed.
Well, okay, that's what we'll talk about. Give me 1 second. Okay. You are charged with one count of unlawful distribution of images with nudity, a Class 4 felony, and one count of unlawful viewing or taping and recording, Class 5 felony. I'm appointing a lawyer for you now. Now, if you get an attorney, he or she will file a notice of appearance, but in case that person doesn't come on the case, you still have an attorney.
All right, yeah.
That's why I want to talk to you about that.
All right, thank you.
Now, we have a lot to talk about. Your court dates will be at 175 West Madison at 8:30 in the morning. Your status conference will be June 23rd, and your witness preliminary hearing will be June 26th. Okay. I'm setting your bond. It'll be a security appearance of $1,000. But if you post your bond, you're going to have to wear an ankle bracelet so they can monitor where you are, and you'll have a curfew. You will only leave your home during your residence during hours approved by pretrial services, and that'll be in your packet, okay? Now, this is very important. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. You must obey the order of protection. So the order of protection says you're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there. But I will allow you to go back one time with a police officer on a civil standby to pick up your personal effects. So you're absolutely not to, with the order of protection here, you're not to contact your wife or ex-wife, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
And so you can't go back there. You understand that?
Yeah, I actually don't need to go back there even once. I actually got all my effects. So.
All right, then I'll delete. Do you want me to delete that?
Yeah, I have no reason to go there.
All right, just giving you the benefit of the doubt there. Okay, I'll change that.
And you said I had a court appearance at 8:30, but
yeah, let me just do this first.
Okay, yeah.
I want to make sure I get everything right. Yeah, court date is June 23rd at 8:30 for status conference, and a witness preliminary hearing is June 26th. So this will be in your paperwork. All right?
And then I can post $1,000 bond tonight.
If you post your bond, you get out.
Okay.
But no, you just say if you post your bond, you get out once they put the ankle bracelet on you. But generally, they don't put it on. They only put it on between Monday and Friday, between 8 and 5. But of course, today is Tuesday, so if you post the bond, you'll be out by tomorrow morning.
Okay.
All right, join that gentleman. Officer, thank you very much. I'm sorry you had to wake everybody up today. So actually, sir, don't pick that up. Let the officer do that.
Not that one. Up there. Okay.
All right. All right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good evening. This is the time set for the 11 p.m. calendar on June 17th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you guys each one at a time to the podium, and I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair outside of this room. I'll let you know what you're here for, if I'm appointing counsel, if you have a bond, and what your release conditions are. Officer, are you able to see if Mr. Ahmad is ready or if they're going to need some additional time?
They're ready.
Thank you, officer.
You're welcome.
So we'll start with Mr. Ahmad to the podium, and if I could have Mr. Harris Hadley to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth, sir?
Ali Ahmad, August 2nd, 1995.
Thank you. And counsel, can I get your appearance?
Your Honor, Charlie Nagley on behalf of Ali Ahmad, who's present, standing to my left.
And did you submit an entry of appearance on this case?
I did.
And do we have that? Okay, thank you. And do I have the state on the line?
Yes, Your Honor. Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state.
Thank you, everybody. It does look like we are here today on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of fraudulent schemes, a Class 2 felony, one count of money laundering, a Class 2 felony, one count of owning and operating a chop shop, a Class 2 felony. You have 34 counts of theft means of transportation under Section A1, also a Class 3 felony. 34 counts of theft means of transportation under Section A5, a Class 3 felony. One count of illegal control of enterprise, a Class 3 felony. 34 counts of altering a vehicle ID in a chop shop.
a Class 4 felony, and 34 counts of altering vehicle serial ID numbers, a Class 5 felony. And counsel, would you like to discuss probable cause and or release conditions here today?
Judge, just release conditions.
Okay. Serial ID numbers, a Class 5 felony. And counsel, would you like to discuss probable cause and or release conditions here today?
Judge, just release conditions.
Okay. And I'm just pulling up your entered appearance that just got entered in here, and it does look like you are entering your appearance for all further proceedings. So I will not be appointing counsel, and I will note in here that you do have your own attorney that you have hired, and they have entered their appearance. So I'm going to go ahead and include that in my orders. I am finding probable cause here today. I am going to give you a couple of hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse. They will be on 175 West Madison Street. You are going to have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30 a.m. Mr. Negley, did you get an opportunity to review the state's recommendation?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Stetson, did you want to put anything on the record as it relates to your written recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, very quickly, the state is requesting bond be set in the amount of $250,000 cash, Your Honor. That's based on the complexity of the allegations, Your Honor. The fact that the suspect has ties abroad, including ties to Mexico and the cartel, as well as ties to the Middle East and Dubai specifically. He does have the resources and the finances to flee, Your Honor. The Form 4 did indicate that he did live in Dubai from 2023 to 2024. The state also believes that he may have access to family businesses abroad as well, Your Honor. The state, as it requested in its written recommendation, is asking for standard conditions as well as no contact with co-defendants. The state does acknowledge that one of the co-defendants and the suspect do share a child together. However, that suspect is also been booked in on related charges, so the state does believe that a no contact condition is appropriate. The state is also asking for electronic monitoring due to the allegations and the strong likelihood that the suspect has finances and resources to flee the country, as well as surrender of passports. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. And Mr. Negley, would you like to put your request on the record?
Yes, Judge, I just want to point out a couple of things. My client is a U.S. citizen. My client does have a U.S. passport that he's willing to surrender if need be. He has no issues with that. I think what's lacking in the Form 4 is the significant amount of ties that my client does have to the state of Arizona. Families here, both his parents live here. All of his brothers and sisters live here. His wife lives here. His children live here. Under these circumstances, Judge, he's not a flight risk. I do take issue with the fact that the state wants to say that he lived in Dubai in 2023 and 2024. He made a visit to Dubai in 23 and maybe in 24, but he did not live there. He resides in Arizona. This is where he's from. And my client does take exception to the allegations in here of some ties to the Mexican cartel. When I brought that to his attention, he was very surprised by that. We're going to be investigating some things here, Judge, to get into as far as how we're going to defend the case. But $250,000 cash only, I think, is a little bit excessive under the circumstances. I've got murder cases that bonds are set way less than that. So I'm asking the court to set something that he can post, a secured appearance bond. I'd ask for as much as just to say on his own recognizance with pretrial services with electronic monitoring, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. I'm just taking a look at this Form 4 really quick. So I'm just reviewing the Form 4 again, just to kind of go over some of the things that council has mentioned in here. It does look like Mr. Ahmad did admit to owning a rental car company in Dubai, so it does look like he does have significant ties to another country. It looks like they've indicated in the Form 4 that the value of the vehicles that were stolen were approximately $2.5 million, with an approximate profit just this year of $160,000. The court does have some concerns about whether or not he will fail to appear at any of these upcoming hearings due to his significant financial resources as well as his ties to the other country. Based on that, I am going to adopt the state's recommendation. There will be a cash-only bond of $250,000. There will be release conditions to include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not have any contact with any co-defendants, and you must surrender all passports at your next court date. Did anyone have any questions as it relates to the release conditions?
No.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. That will conclude this hearing, and counsel, feel free to use that room if you want to continue to speak to your client, and we'll print a copy of those release conditions for you. Do I need to re-sign that one?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I had to change that we weren't appointing counsel anymore. Did that work?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, can I have Kendrick Harris Hadley to the podium and Jeremy Albright to the chair? Good evening, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Kendrick Harris Hadley, 3/11/1987.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of aggravated domestic violence, a Class 5 felony, and one count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You'll have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30. Those will both be in the downtown Superior Courthouse on 175 West Madison Street. You have a secured appearance bond of $25,000. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release. It will include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess any weapons, and you must obey any terms of any order of protection or order against harassment that may be issued against you. You'll also need to ensure you attend those hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue, and you'll forfeit any bond you posted. Did you have any questions, sir?
Okay. Why do I have a $25,000 bond?
So it's based on the nature of the allegations in the Form 4 that has been presented to the court today. I do have some concerns regarding your safety within the community, especially with the alleged victim in this case.
What, my safety?
With the safety of the community with you in the community.
I'm not a community violent person.
So
no, I understand though, it's cool.
The information alleges some allegations that there was some violence involved in the what you're here for today, and so I do have some concerns for the safety of the alleged victim if you're released.
Okay. But did you also get the other information on my end on how this so-called victim set up there and posed this threat of me being locked down?
So I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. If you're relating to a defense that you may have based on the information that, or the actions that took place tonight, relay that to your attorney when you meet with them on June 23rd, okay? All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Albright to the podium and Ms. Rocha to the chair. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Jeremy Albright, 11/15/1980.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. I'm also going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse on 175 West Madison Street. You have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $25,000. If that bond is posted, you'll be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you'll be equipped with electronic monitoring. You'll have written conditions of release in addition to that. It will include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess any weapons, and you must obey the terms of any order of protection or order against harassment that may be issued against you. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Ms. Rocha to the podium, and Mr. Garcia Rodriguez to the chair. Good evening. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Delia Rocha, November 10, 92.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of fraudulent schemes, a Class 2 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30. And I believe the state would like to appear on this case as it relates to the release conditions. So before we get to that, Ms. Stetson, did you want to make your appearance on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state.
Thank you. And would you like to go ahead and put your recommendations on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. This case is also in relationship to the case that the state appeared on earlier this evening. Your Honor, the state is asking for $25,000 cash in this matter. The state is requesting a cash bond in this case as well. The suspect in this case is in a relationship with the previous suspect. She does have access to the same finances and resources that the previous suspect has. They do have a child in common. It does appear that the suspect and the co-defendant, Mr. Ahmad, have traveled to Dubai together in the past. The state is requesting the same conditions as the state requested in Mr. Ahmad's case, including the surrender of passport and no contact with the two other suspects, Mr. Garcia Rodriguez and Mr. Ahmad, as well as electronic monitoring due to the state's concern that the suspect has the means to flee the country. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. The court is going to order a cash-only bond of $25,000. If you post that bond, you will have written conditions of release. It will include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You are not to have any contact with any co-defendants. You'll also need to ensure that you bring your passports and surrender those at your next court date, as well as make sure you attend those hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue and you'll forfeit any bond that you posted. All of that will be in your paperwork. Ma'am, did you have any questions? Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Garcia Rodriguez to the podium, please, and Mr. Hartwick to the chair. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Mario Garcia Rodriguez, January 12, 1992.
Thank you. And did the state want to appear on this case as well?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would like to appear. For the record, Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state.
Thank you. It does look like we are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of fraudulent schemes, a Class 2 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30. Those will both take place in the downtown Superior Courthouse on 175 West Madison Street. Before we get to your release conditions, Ms. Stetson, did you want to put the state's recommendation on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. The state is again requesting a bond be set in the amount of $25,000 cash. Your Honor, the suspect is alleged to have involvement in this criminal organization that the state has appeared on and two other incidents. It's alleged that the suspect is involved with switching out the VIN numbers or the serial numbers on vehicles. The Form 4 did also indicate the suspect has family in Mexico. So for those reasons, the state is asking for standard conditions along with no contact with the co-defendants or co-suspects, electronic monitoring, and surrendering his passport. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. The court is going to order a cash bond of $25,000. If you post that bond, you will have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and no contact with any co-defendants. You must surrender all passports at your next hearing. You need to ensure you attend those hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue, and you'll forfeit any bond that you may have posted. Did you have any questions, sir? If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. And Ms. Stetson,
Your
are you
Honor.
appearing on anything else this evening?
I don't believe so, unless Your Honor needs me to stick around to appear on anything else.
I don't think so. Feel free to disconnect at your convenience.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. Can I have Mr. Hartwick to the podium and Audrey Copeland to the chair? Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Eric Harvick, January 16th, 1982.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of aiming a laser at an occupied aircraft, a Class 3 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Courthouse on Madison Street. You have a secured appearance bond of $15,000. If you post that bond, you're going to have written conditions of release. You may not have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, or any arresting officer. You also may not possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of that will be in your paperwork. You also need to ensure you attend these hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue, and you'll forfeit any bond that you have posted. Did you have any questions, sir?
Is there any possibility for an OR?
Not today, sir. Okay. Anything further?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Audrey Copeland to the podium and Nicholas Poppleton to the chair. Good evening. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Audrey Copeland, 12/30/72.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like we are here on a new Superior Court case.
Yeah.
It does include one count of aggravated assault, a Class 6 felony, one count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, and one count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
Thank you.
You're going to have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Courthouse on Madison Street. You have a secured appearance bond of $5,000. If you post that bond, you will have written conditions of release. Those will include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you must obey the terms of any order of protection or order of against harassment that may be issued against you. You also need to ensure you attend those hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest, and you'll forfeit any bond that you've posted. Did you have any questions, ma'am?
I have to have a bond to be able to get out at all.
Yes, you have a secured appearance bond of $5,000. If that's posted, you'll be released from custody, and then you need to ensure you attend the hearings that will be listed in your paper.
And if I can't post the bond?
If you don't post the bond, then you'll remain in custody until at least your next hearing on June 23rd. You'll meet with your attorney that day, and you can discuss with your attorney at that time the next appropriate action.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Nicholas Poppleton to the podium and Joshua Andrade to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Nicholas, 3690.
Can you repeat your full name?
Oh, Nicholas Poppleton, March 6, 1990.
Thank you so much, sir. It does look like we have 3 probation violation cases on the calendar with allegations you violated terms 4, 5, and 7 in each of your cases. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and you're going to have a probation revocation hearing on June 24th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Courthouse on 201 West Jefferson. You have a secured appearance bond of $750 in 2 cases and $500 in the third. That's a total secured appearance bond of $2,000. If that bond is posted, you have written conditions of release to include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. You also need to ensure you attend that hearing. That date and time applies to all 3 probation cases. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue and you'll forfeit any bond you posted. Did you have any questions, sir?
No, thank you.
All right, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you, sir. Joshua Andrade to the podium and Victoria Longbreak to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Joshua Andrade, 5/7/1994.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant that was issued with allegations you violated terms 11, 14, 15, and 21 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney and set a probation revocation hearing June 24th at 8:30. That will take place at 201 West Jefferson. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $1,500. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release. It will include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this information will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
So I have up to 72 hours to see my probation officer about this.
Once you're released from custody, you have 72 hours to contact your probation officer. If you don't know their direct number, your paperwork will have the main phone number and they can direct you there. So you just need to make sure you contact them by calling them once you've been released.
Am I being released tonight or?
If you post bond of $1,500.
I don't have a job or the money. I just got off the streets from being homeless for over 2 months.
Then if you don't post bond, you'll remain in custody until at least your hearing on June 24th. That's when your probation revocation hearing is.
I didn't even have anything to do with this, ma'am, to be honest, Your Honor. It was out of the blue it happened, so the ankle monitor was the only reason why they did it.
This is a pretty lengthy petition to revoke probation. They've listed quite a few allegations of violations that you have committed. So your attorney will give you a copy of that and go over each allegation, and you can discuss any defense you have with your attorney for your hearing on June 24th, okay? All right, if you'll step to your left, sir, they'll give you that paperwork. Ms. Longbreak to the podium and Mr. Jimenez to the chair, please. Good evening, ma'am. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Victoria Longbreak, 7/29/78.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you have 3 cases on the calendar. The first one is a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, that should actually be a Class 6 felony. So I'm going to edit this really quick. Okay, so 1 count of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Courthouse. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $50, but you have 2 warrants that were issued for you. It looks like you're on probation in 2 cases, and they've alleged you violated terms 4, 7, and 13 of your probation. So I'll appoint an attorney in those cases and set a probation revocation hearing June 24th at 8:30. In each of those cases, you have a bond of $500. So it's a total bond of $1,050 between your 3 cases. If you post bond, you're going to have written conditions of release to include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You have 3 hearings coming up between your 3 cases. You need to ensure you attend all 3. If you fail to appear at any of them, a warrant will issue and you'll forfeit any bonds that you may have posted. Did you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Jimenez to the podium and Mr. Fabian Soto to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Anthony Jimenez, 11/13/1998.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 3, 4, and 7 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney and set a probation revocation hearing June 24th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Courthouse on 201 West Jefferson. You have a secured appearance bond of $1,000. If that bond is posted, you have written conditions of release. It will include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. You need to ensure you attend that hearing. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue and you'll forfeit any bond you posted. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, sir, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Soto to the podium and Mr. Slick to the chair. Good evening, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Yeah, Fabian Soto, 8/20/99.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we have 3 cases on the calendar. The first one is a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of shopping removal of goods, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of shoplifting concealment, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $500 in this case. It looks like you're also on probation in 2 cases, and so when you're on probation, it is a Term 1 violation when you're picked up for any new offense. So I'm going to appoint counsel in both of your probation cases and set a probation revocation hearing on June 24th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $50 in each of your probation cases. That's a total bond of $600 between your 3 cases. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, you may not possess any weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You have 3 hearings coming up. You need to ensure you attend all of them. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue and you'll forfeit your bond. Did you have any questions?
No.
Thank you, sir. If you step to your left, I'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Slick to the podium, and Ms. Thompson to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Pascal Paso Slick III, January 25th, 1995.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 6 and 7 of your probation. I'll appoint an attorney and set a probation revocation hearing on June 24th at 8:30 a.m. You have a secured appearance bond of $500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. It will include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. What are the 6 and 7 terms?
Let me pull up the warrant. We'll take a look. Looks like this warrant issued quite a few years ago. It's from February 1st, 2022. The first one is that you absconded. You were directed on January 4th, 2022 to contact the adult probation department within 72 hours of release from incarceration, and you failed to do so. And number 7 is the same thing, it's just a different date. You failed to contact the adult probation department, and you changed residence without their approval.
Hey, ma'am, I was wondering if it'd be possible for the bond to get dropped a little lower.
The bond won't be reduced today. It is a secured appearance bond, meaning you can use a bail bonding company, which is 10% plus collateral, but you will have to post that bond before being released from custody.
Okay.
Anything further, sir?
I'll just have to wait in jail till 24th, you said?
If you don't post bond, then your hearing will be on June 24th for your probation revocation hearing.
Okay, I have another question.
Sure.
Was I on standard?
I believe so, but I'm going to double check. Yes, you're on standard.
So, if I were to be reinstated on probation, would I probably be on IPS? Or?
It looks like you've been reinstated a couple of times, and they've continued with standard. I'm not sure if that will play a factor into this time being a potential 3rd time that you have to be reinstated. But talk to your attorney about that to see what the likelihood of it being intensive probation, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. If you step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Ms. Thompson to the podium and Scott Susie to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Sedonimora Thompson, 2789.
Can you repeat your date of birth a little louder? I couldn't hear you.
Yes, ma'am, 2789.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant that was issued with allegations you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing on June 24th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $250. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release. It will include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be in your paperwork, ma'am. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you, ma'am. Can I have Scott to the podium and Matthew Bazin to the chair? Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Scott Anthony Susi Jr., 42691.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we are here on a direct complaint that was filed.
Yes.
It looks like you were transferred here from the Department of Corrections.
Yes.
Do you still have time to serve with the Department of Corrections?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, so it looks like a direct complaint was filed February 21st, 2024 for an offense date of July 22nd, 2023. It's for 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and I'm going to give you some hearing dates. You'll have a status conference June 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond of $150. However, because you have a hold from the Department of Corrections, you wouldn't actually be released.
Yes.
So you may want to hold off on posting that. You'll likely stay in the Maricopa County jails while you proceed through this case, and once that's completed, you can
That's totally fine with me. I'd rather get everything taken care of before I get out anyway, so.
Okay, perfect. So just wanted to make sure it was clear that if you paid it, you wouldn't get released.
Yeah, no.
Just so there's no confusion there, and again, you can talk to your attorney about how you want to move forward with that, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Just up to your left, I'll give you that paperwork. Matthew to the podium, and Mr. Daughtery to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Matthew Bazan, 11/22/90.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant that was issued for you with allegations you violated terms 3, 4, and 5. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing June 24th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $250. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release to include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Did you have any questions, sir?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Daughtery to the podium and Mr. Alvarez to the chair. Good evening, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Quinnishay Daughtery. October 7th, 1980.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a direct complaint. It looks like this was filed on January 8th, 2022, and it has an offense date of February 4th, 2021 for 2 counts of aggravated DUI, Class 4 felony. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and give you some hearing dates. You'll have a status conference July 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing July 7th at 8:30. Those are both going to be in the downtown Superior Courthouse on 175 West Madison Street. I am releasing you to the supervision of pretrial services. You'll have written conditions of release to include not possessing any drugs without a valid prescription and not driving a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You'll also get an envelope with your packet. You'll need to read those instructions and contact pretrial services once you've been released. Okay. You need to ensure you attend those hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue and you'll likely be held on bond at the next hearing. Did you have any questions?
How did I not know about this, ma'am? Because I wouldn't let it go this far. I would have just...
Let's see if they ever issued any notification. Yeah, it looks like they tried to mail you information, but the mail got returned.
Okay.
And then it looks like it's just kind of been in warrant status ever since.
Yeah, it was
looks like it was address on 235th Drive back in 2022, but that mail got returned, and then, like I said, it's just kind of been sitting in warrant status since then.
Okay, because it just shocked me today when I got pulled over.
Yeah, I understand that. Again, just make sure you go to that hearing, meet with your attorney, and just make sure you continue to go to those, okay?
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Mr. Alvarez to the podium and Jacqueline Sinqua to the chair. Good evening, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Leobardo Alvarez, March 10, 2002.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include 2 counts of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference July 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing July 7th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Courthouse on Madison Street. I'm releasing you to the supervision of pretrial services. You have written conditions of release to include no contact with your arresting officers. You may not possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive a vehicle without a valid driver's license. You'll also get an envelope with your paperwork. You need to read those instructions and contact pretrial services once you've been released.
Yes, ma'am.
Then make sure you attend those hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue and you'll be held on bond at your next hearing. Did you have any questions, sir?
I do. So when I got arrested earlier today, they took, it looks like, my firearm and some vapes and stuff into evidence. They said to ask you about it if I was gonna be able to retrieve that back.
So that won't happen tonight. Talk to your attorney. They may have taken some of those things for evidence with this case, so it may not be released until the end of the trial. It just depends. So talk to your attorney about when they'll be releasing that stuff back to you, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Jacqueline to the podium and Tyrell Thompson to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
I'm Jacqueline Danielle Cinque, date of birth is November 3rd, 1983.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a justice court warrant. It looks like it's for failing to appear at a hearing related to a driving on a suspended driver's license case from November of 2024. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney at your own expense if you would like to. You're going to have an arraignment on July 3rd at 1 p.m. in the North Mesa Justice Court.
Okay.
I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You have written conditions of release to include not possessing any drugs without a valid prescription and not driving a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Tyrell Thompson to the podium. Mr. Gonzalez to the chair. Good evening, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Tyrell Cameron Thompson, 9/1889.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you, and I'm going to set a probation revocation hearing June 24th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Courthouse on 201 West Jefferson. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear. You have written conditions of release that will include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You'll need to ensure you attend that hearing. If you fail to appear, a warrant will issue and you'll be held on bond at the next hearing. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, just step to your left, sir. They'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Gonzalez to the podium, please. Good evening, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Yes, Angelo Gonzalez, 1/15/1996.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we have two cases on the calendar. The first one is a new justice court case for 1 count of false report to law enforcement and 1 count of driving with a license that was suspended, both Class 1 misdemeanors. Probable cause has been found. However, due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney at your own expense. You are going to have an arraignment hearing in the Hacienda Justice Court on July 2nd at 9 a.m. You're also here on a warrant from the Surprise Municipal Court related to a charge of driving with a suspended license from October of 2018. In that case, you're also not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you're going to have an arraignment hearing in the Surprise Municipal Court on July 15th at 1:30 in the afternoon. I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at these hearings. You're going to have written conditions of release to include not possessing any drugs without a valid prescription and not driving a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You'll need to ensure you attend both of these hearings, otherwise a failure to appear warrant will issue and you'll be held on bond at the next hearing. Dates, times, location will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Just one, forgive me. So I do know that my, thank you for letting me go on my own recognizance, but my partner had already paid, like, the warrant, so if, I don't mind that she paid just because I was more worried about getting bonded out. So, with you letting me go on my OR and her already paying the warrant, I guess, would we just leave it at that, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure how they'll reconcile it if it got paid before you saw me. Because you had 2 cases and you only had a bond on 1 case, they wouldn't have released you until you saw me. Officers, are you able to tell if the $100 bond was paid yet? Do you know just by looking at your paperwork?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Then.
Okay. I'm not sure how they'll reconcile it. Make sure you attend the hearings. It's if you don't attend that you'll lose the bond.
Yes, ma'am.
So just make sure you attend if they don't return it, and then talk to the Surprise Municipal Court. That's the court that you had the bond on that. If she did post anything, it would be related to the
Understood.
municipal
Thank you.
court. Okay.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Case number 5 and 6, Chris Villegas, date of birth October 10th, 1955, 1955, will proceed as a house call due to being unable to function. We are here on 2 justice court warrants. They're both coming out of the Kyrene Justice Court. The first one relates to an offense date of March 27th, 2023 for 1 count of criminal trespass, and the other one for March 21st, 2025 for 1 count of drug paraphernalia. In both of these cases, he is not entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of the charge. He will have an arraignment hearing July 7th at 9:30 in the Kyrene Justice Court, and that date and time will apply to both cases. I am releasing him on his own recognizance, that is his promise to appear. He will have written conditions of release included in his paperwork. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. That concludes our 11 p.m. calendar, and we will stand in recess until 5 a.m.